Today, I've got a comment from AnnVD71 that gives us an opportunity to review the events that have happened in the first 200 days. They show us proof that, honestly, an awful lot is happening which supports the plan to take back our freedom. So let's hear from AnnVD71.
I think only when we have an alert EBS system. When the world shuts down. Just a thought. But Trump needs to do something. The world is breaking apart. So many lost their lives. Illegal immigrants are still flooding our countries.
My first notion is that it may seem like the world is breaking apart, but really it's the Matrix that's breaking apart. Let me explain. This war has been going on a very long time. Our minds have allowed all kinds of misinformation into our Akashic history. Everything we know is based on a faulty reality. It's very much like the movie The Matrix, which was a false reality that was exposed when the main character had to choose between a red pill and a blue pill. He chose the red pill, which awoke him to an elaborate deception of an evil cyber intelligence that enslaved humanity by trapping human minds in a simulated reality while harvesting their bodies for energy, keeping them docile and unaware so they wouldn't resist. Is anything resonating here? But there are many that don't understand how this could have become so big. My answer to this question is that we have machines that tell us how to control minds if we ask it. The creators of the Hive have had this technology for years. Let me show you what I mean, and you can check the boxes if you think it has occurred on planet Earth. I asked ChatGPT the question this time. I use multiple AI platforms for validation, and because I've used it enough to know which ones are best for which purpose. So here we go. This is the query that I posed to Chat. If I wanted to control the minds of the masses, what actions would I take? You're gonna love the response.
Controlling the minds of the masses typically involves control of information, dominate media, censor dissent, and shape the narrative. Repetition of key messages. You repeat slogans and ideas until they feel like truth. Emotional manipulation. Use fear, hope, outrage, or pride to override critical thinking. Education shaping. Influence curricula to mold beliefs from a young age. Social proof and authority. Use experts, celebrities, and influencers to validate the message. Distraction. Flood attention with entertainment, scandals, or trivial news. Divide and polarize. Create us versus them mindsets to weaken unity against control.
Briefly, controlling the minds of the masses typically involves control of information, repetition of key messages, emotional manipulation, education shaping, social proof and authority, distraction, and divide and polarize. Does anything sound familiar? Are we missing anything, or do you have enough to understand how this has happened? So, it's a tough job, Anne. They've had 70 years to create this monster that invades every infrastructure in the world. We've had 6 months to dismantle it while fighting a weaponized court system. If we watch, we can see the house of cards systematically coming down. Judges have been arrested and overturned by the Supreme Court, thereby setting precedent. Probable cause is being declassified and released to the public as criminal investigations are opening. The director of National Intel just came out saying that she believes that there are aliens and promised to release the evidence as soon as she can. This tells me that she's not authorized to release it yet, but now we have a government official finally admitting that they are real. Il Donaldo Trumpo is posting ET and UFO memes. People are being sent back to their countries all over the world. Texas redistricting, which will likely flip 4 blue seats to red. Governor Abbott threatened to remove over 50 Democratic members of Congress who left town to deny a quorum on the vote. Abbott also announced that he will investigate them for bribery over fundraising efforts to cover $500 daily fines. Coupled with the prosecution of New York Attorney General Letitia James and the investigation of Adam Schiff, California senator, for mortgage fraud, the takedowns are sending a clear message to crooked politicians: no one is above the law. Remember about the repetition of key messages? Well, now they are being used to wake the people up and expose corruption. Then there's the Black fatigue narrative, along with the Diddy and Fat Joe cases exposing the problem with the Black culture. This is very important because Black people were the most targeted demographic for so many years, and we must help them see the behavior and guide them into engaging their brains to higher frequencies. We also have the narrative about Jerome Powell with the nickname Too Late Powell, and the abrupt resignation of a board member, which Trump has already replaced with his own pick. Something is definitely brewing with the Fed. The White House staff have repeatedly used the words "the golden age," signaling a potential return to some sort of gold-backed currency. Starlink has deployed thousands of satellites around the world, and the U.S. Mars system can be altered to send out the same signal across the world. PBS lost its funding and will likely lose many rural stations, so the current EBS will not be able to have full coverage. Will that usher in the Mars system? I'll link a video that I did about the military-controlled Mars communication system. The signs that the plan is going as planned are all around us. It's just that many sensationalist anons propagated false narratives from the start, especially as far as the time frame. These things take time. I used to be a drug regulator and criminal investigator. Prosecutions don't happen overnight. I'm going to end this with a simple repetitive key message. Trust the plan.